black people not have access to a better life in America? What's preventing them?
Police, the government.
Hold on, no. Police. How many unarmed black men die? How many unarmed black men die on the hands of from the hands of police every year?
The unarmed
nationally?
black? Are you
yes.
serious?
How many?
Charlie Kirk, we're talking about something.
How many? No, you just said police. How many unarmed black men die at the hands of police every year?
Did I say that is the reason why
you just said police?
Policing is an issue.
How? You're right. We don't have enough police on the streets of black neighborhoods. What is the #1 cause of black death in Chicago?
Are you serious?
Other blacks killing blacks.
Are y'all saying other blacks?
Yes.
Other blacks.
Who is killing? No, I want to have a conversation with you.
What did you expect, Charlie?
Who is killing them?
Who is killing African Americans?
Yes.
People are killing people.
No. What race is killing them?
Why are y'all trying to act like African Americans are just solely murdered? People are killing people.
No. What race is killing? Is it white people killing blacks or blacks killing blacks?
People are killing people, Charlie.
Okay, but hold on. What race is
You're
killing
saying
the other
what race is killing what race more? That does not matter.
It does matter because it's a black on black problem. How do black people not?
Shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Ruach. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessing, and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad, teaching His word in truth and sincerity. And I'm back with another lesson. And this video, as you can hear, it says victim mentality gets shut down. So, and we're just the victims, according to so-called white people. We're just victims. We have that victim mentality, and there, Esau Edom hasn't furthered our affliction at all. It's just been us. But this is why you have to be able to explain these things, right? Because Esau Edom, you try to get away with bloody murder, right? So, some things he said, why are black people in the position they're in, right? And let me just play it again.
Have access to a better life in America. Black people not have access.
Why don't black
to a
people
better
have
life in
access?
America? What's preventing them?
He said, "Why don't black people have a better access to?" What did he say?
Police, the government.
Hold on, no. People not have access to a better life in America.
He said, "Why don't black people have a better access to a better life in America?" It's because it's you demons, it's you Edomites. Of course, we know that everything stems from the curses. So we know the curses will fall upon Israel because of our disobedience to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And through our disobedience, a part of the curses is our enemies ruling over us. And what do our enemies do? They further our affliction, right? They keep us in poverty, right? We're not able to benefit from our labors. This is why we live in the ghettos in the first place, right? If we would have got our reparations, like they promised that they would do, if they promised us, if we would have got our reparations that they promised us, we wouldn't have to be in the ghetto. We wouldn't have to live in a community of poor, struggling Israelites, Jakes that want to do anything and everything for $1, right? When we did come up with a way to protect our communities, what happened? They jailed those Black Panthers. And what happened to that? That system went wrong. Now you got a whole bunch of young people running around trying to establish some type of order without any proper guidance. And they, what do? They start killing each other, which is all stems from the curses, right? So Esau Edom is trying to wash his hands of anything that's done in the so-called black community. But we understand that Esau Edom, he's the main catalyst. He's one of the main catalysts that destroyed the people of Israel, mentally and physically, right? So I'm gonna get a few scriptures. I might go back to this, but I'm gonna get a few scriptures and explain this, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So this is Deuteronomy 28:33. It says, "The fruit of thy land and all thy labor labor shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always." Right. So we're oppressed and crushed by a nation of people that we know not. right? Which is Esau Edom. So that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes, which thou shalt see, right? So, hey, it says, oppression maketh a wise man mad, right? So you see black people's countenance 9 times out of 10, you're gonna see a frown, or you're gonna see an angry look on black people's face, because we can see, and if you can't see it physically, spiritually, because black people like to look good. They like to look like they got something going on, but they don't. That's just a way to mask the fact that we don't have shit, right? So spiritually, in your spirit, it's something's not right. You see that, damn, why are our people still living like this? Why are people still living in poverty, in the worst conditions in America? It's because we're under the curses, right? A lot of black people don't understand that. They just think that, this has been given a bad hand, but it's really because we disobeyed Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and the Lord has put us in poverty because of it. The Lord shall smite thee in thy knees and thy legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. The Lord shall bring thee as to thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods and wood and stone. And that was a part of the curses falling upon us too, was worshiping other gods, right? Because that's like one of the first commandments. Thou shalt not worship any other gods, right? So that's what we did that got us into captivity, that got us under the curses. Let's see. Let's go to some more. This is skipping down to 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Right? So we have been put in a position to be the tail and not the head. And the stranger that is within thee shall get up very high. Right? And that's Esau, but that's also the other nations that come here, and they're able to get loans, and they're able to set up stores and businesses in our communities where we can't even get those loans or set up those businesses, because it's a systematic oppression. Right? So Esau Edom, he wants to try to remove his hand to seem like he has nothing to do with it. Right? I'm gonna throw you in the ghetto. I'm not gonna give you no reparations. I'm not gonna give you any money. I'm gonna throw you in the ghetto, and then I'm gonna go live in the hills. And whatever y'all do is y'all fault. Don't blame us. But what happened to all the money and the reparations that you guys are supposed to give us? You didn't give us no reparations, right? You didn't give us any type of real resources, right? They threw us in the ghettos, threw us in the slums, and left. So now we kill each other, and it's like, well, it's your fault. Which we know the curses say that we're gonna have an evil eye towards our brother. It says, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearken not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. And that shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. And this is how we know who the children of Israel are. People say, oh, well, how do you know you guys are Israelites? How you guys know that you are the children of Israel? Well, because the signs and the curses are upon us forever. Right? So we can see the things that we're going through, and it parallels to what the scripture said what happened to the Israelites. This is how we know we're the Israelites, man. And look at this. I'm going to go skip down to 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and towards his wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Which is another curse. We would usually have a camaraderie between one another. Right? We're supposed to love our neighbors. But guess what? We have an evil eye towards our neighbors because of the things we're going through. Right? So that's in the curses also. So white people, they leave us in a community with no resources, right? And then they let these poverty-stricken people kill one another, deal drugs to one another, And then they say, well, it's not our fault, it's their fault. When they had a direct hand in the position that we're in, right? Because like I said, they didn't give us no money for none of the things we did, right? Trillions of dollars, they made trillions of dollars off of what we done, but never gave us any reparations, right? But they stay giving other nations of people billions and trillions of dollars for the things they went through. And this is why we say, Esau, Edom, the Lord's going to destroy you, man. This whole kingdom that you built off the back of slaves, the Israelites, is going to be destroyed, man. Right? The Lord is not forgetting. Right? So it says, let's see. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna go for right now, right? So, and we have an evil eye towards our brother, is because of the curses. But Esau, Edom, you're not exempt from punishment, man. Right? You're not exempt for the dead bodies that is on your hands, Esau, Edom. Let's go into this, right? Because you guys furthered the affliction. Because when you could have restored Israel, you didn't. It says, none says restore. Right? You're not trying to restore us and bring us back to our first estate. You guys are furthering the affliction and allowing us to kill one another. And yep. This is Zechariah 1:15, and I am very sore pleased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they help further forward the affliction. Right? So what they're doing is forward their affliction with their laws, with their decrees, with their neglect of the things that they've done to the children of Israel. They're further that affliction. So the Lord is not forgetting anything that these devils did, man. Right? The things that happened before time, the things that happened in the past, the Lord is going to call those things into remembrance. So Esau, Edom, he can try to wipe his hands of the things that's going on with Jake right now and say, hey, there's nothing going on with us. We haven't did nothing. You guys are killing each other. But hey, everybody knows what you devils done. Right? Those taskmasters. Right? They come and they racially profile Jake. Right? They had the system set up to where 9 times out of 10, if I pull over Jake might have a gun in the car because he's in poverty, and he might be selling some drugs because that's the only way that he can make a living. And 9 times out of 10, he has to have a gun on him because he has to get he has to be prepared in case somebody tries to rob him of his stuff because he's doing illegal activity anyways. Right? It's so many things Jake has to worry about in this captivity. It talks about how we will have no assurance of life. Right? So we don't have any assurance of life in this captivity. And Jake is going the wrong way, right? Selling drugs and things like that. But who set up these traps? Right? Who set up these snares upon Jake? Esau did. He set up all these snares and these traps. And that's why these same traps that Esau Edom is setting for us, he's going to fall in these same traps. And he's falling in these same traps. Right? Let's get some more scriptures. Right? Because we're not ignorant, man. We know what the hell Esau's doing. Right? There's no way you can wash your hands of all the blood that you shed, Esau. Let's see. I'm gonna go to a specific scripture. It's a specific scripture I'm gonna go to. I'm gonna see if I can find it real quick. Bear with me, y'all. Let's see. This is Proverbs 26 and 27. It says, whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. Right. So this is concerning, right? Esau, Edom, right? He's digging pits so we can fall into it, but he's gonna fall into them same pits, right? Like, the drug epidemic, right? He comes in, he allows these drugs to come into the community, and then it's a war on drugs. You lock all the people up, and then now that's them same drugs are hitting your community, right? Because you tried to devour us with that same, with that same drug. Now those same drugs are coming to your community, and a lot of those drugs now are pharmaceutical drugs. They're illegal, but Esau Edom is still falling victim to those drugs, because the things that you try to do to Israel is going to come back upon you, right? We have to understand that all the curses that happen to Israel is going to happen. It's going to happen to Esau, right? So Esau can't try to wipe his hands of the things he's done, because the things you do is going to come back to you, right? So you can't say those things that's happening to you is not a result of what you've done to other people, because we know that judgment is like a circle, comes back around. Let's go back. I want to go back to that.
To a better life in America. What's preventing them?
Police, the government.
Hold on. No. Police. How many unarmed black men died? How many unarmed black men died?
Yeah, the police come. They racially profile Jake. 9 times out of 10, when they pull him over, they know that they're in poverty. They know that they're doing things that they're not supposed to be doing 9 times out of 10. I'm not saying that every Jake that get pulled over is doing something wrong, but they know if I get a black person 9 times out of 10, he's going to be angry, he's going to be hostile, and we're going to be able to get him just based off of that. Right? So they do racially profile Jake. We understand these things. Right?
From the hands of police every year.
The unarmed
nationally.
black? Are you serious?
And
how many?
It's a reason why Jake is the number one impoverished in Babylon. He's the not impoverished, Slakia, the number one imprisoned race of people in Babylon. Right? This is Isaiah 42 and 22. But this is the people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for the prey, and none delivered, for a spoil, and none save restore. Right? So, hey, look it. They robbed us. They spoiled us. All they do is take from Jake. Right? They take all the salt that we have. They use it. They get rich. We don't benefit from the fruit that we bear. And then they lock us up, imprison us, false charges. Right? They set up they pretty much rig the game, and then blame us for falling into the traps. Right? That's why we can't be ignorant of Satan's devices. We can't be ignorant of his snares and his traps. We got to be able to withstand the wiles, the wiles of the devil, because he's gonna come with these tricks and these schemes to get us to fall, right? And we're living in the last days, so Jake is starting to get more smart. When it comes to certain particular things, Jake is still 2/3 of Jake is still gonna perish. We know that. So, but Jake is starting to rise up. What I'm saying, they're starting to rise up. They're starting to be fed up, and that's what's gonna incite these different race wars and the sedition. All these things is gonna happen because Jake is fed up now. That lion, he's starting to rise up now, right? So who should rise him up? Now he's starting to get rose up, because you see, there's no end of the oppression in America, Babylon the Great. There's never going to be a stop to it. It's never going to be a conscious thought to restore black people to, or so-called black Israelites to their rightful state. Right? That's why we gotta wait till Yahushua comes and delivers us. Right? This is Egypt all over again. That's why they don't want to let us go. That's why they haven't just. If we were so oppressed, why not just gave us a plot of land somewhere and just let us dwell there? Let us build up our own communities. Let us build up certain things for ourselves, right? They could have did that since they don't want us. Um, they so called want us to go back to Africa, but they don't want us to leave because they know that they get all the sauce from black people, man. All the salt, all the drip, they get from us. We read this again, Isaiah 42:22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses. They are for a prey, and none deliver, for a spoil, and none save or restore. Right? So that's the position we're in. And we'll be in this same position until the Lord comes back. But while we're in this position, you're going to have Jakes waking up, getting the wisdom and knowledge, and they're going to be getting restored spiritually. Right? They'll physically still be in poverty, but spiritually they're going to be getting raised up. They're going to be understanding, through the Spirit who they are and what their what the goal is, what their job is in these last days, and that's what's happening right now.
Every year.
The unarmed
Nationally.
black? Are you
yes.
serious?
How many?
Charlie Kirk, we're talking about something.
How many? No, you just said police. How many unarmed black men die at the hands of police every year?
Did I say that is the reason
you
why
just
we're
said
prohibited?
police?
Policing is an issue.
How? You're right. We don't have enough police on the streets of black neighborhoods. What is the number one cause of black death in Chicago?
Are you serious?
Other blacks killing blacks.
Are y'all saying other blacks?
Yes.
Other blacks.
Who is killing? No, I want to have a conversation with you.
What did you expect?
Who is killing them?
Who is killing African Americans?
Yes.
And he's right, because what did I say? They put Jake in the ghettos in these communities that have no resources, and then they leave Jake to fend for himself. And then, of course, who else you gonna kill? Which goes back to the Stockholm syndrome too, right? They're less likely to kill a white person just because of the punishment they think they're gonna get, or just because they had that spirit to let so-called Esau pass. But when it's Jake, they press Jake. They all on Jake's bumper, where he's from, this and that, because Jake's enemy is a person of his same ethnicity, right? And that's why I say it goes all the way back to reparations. If we'd have got reparations, what would have happened? We would have probably less likely been in a position where we want to kill each other because we have money. We don't want to sell drugs, so we have money. Now we can think about, wealth, right? Getting real wealth, opening up business, doing the things that we're supposed to do, right? We you got to think about Tuscaloosa, Oklahoma, right? 1921. You see what they did to black people trying to thrive, opening up businesses, in those particular things. They burnt it down to the ground. These Edomites, think about where a town like that would have been in 100 years, right? They couldn't even fathom it, so they had to destroy those black communities. So, we wouldn't get ahead. We wouldn't get ahead. So, think about the things that we did do, and think about the reparations these other people have gotten. But we've gone through the worst atrocities in history out of all these different nations, right? This is Daniel 9, and let's see. This is Daniel 9:12, and he have confirmed his words which he spake against us, against our judges that judge us, by bringing up a great evil. For under the whole heavens have not been done as have been done upon Jerusalem. So we've been going through the worst atrocities in history. So we supposed to get those things which, it's going to come from the Heavenly Father. We're going to get our reparations from the Lord, right? That's why we got to wait on him until he rises up, because he's going to give us everything and more. But we just got to serve the Lord to the best of our ability and come back to our nationality, know the name of the Lord, know what his true name is, so we can call upon him in the times of distress, in the times of anguish, in the times of calamities, right? Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. And the Lord is going to destroy this kingdom, man. He's going to destroy these Edomites, right? With their vain philosophies, right? with them not wanting to take accountability of what they've done to the so-called black man, right? The Israelite man. How they use the so-called black woman against the black man to throw off the family dynamic. They're gonna get theirs, man. Right? They're gonna get theirs. So we're not even worried about it, right? We're gonna do what we were commanded to do, and that's preach the word, teach the word. And Esau Edom, he's gonna continue to be wicked. He's gonna continue to shoot forth lies out of his mouth to try to retain his false innocence, and the Lord's gonna destroy his ass, man. Right? So this guy was talking to this damn Edomite, and he didn't really know how to explain what was going on. He didn't really want to go back to slavery. He didn't go back to the things that happened to us, Tuskegee, Oklahoma. He didn't go back to those positions, how the white man throws rocks and hides his hand and act like it's not his fault. But hey, we understand who the son of perdition is, and we're pointing the finger at you, Esau, and the Lord is pointing his finger at you, and your judgment is to come. Right? Your kingdom is crumbling, but your judgment is to come, man. So you can live it up, man. Right? Live it up. Let's go to Lamentations. And I'm going to end it at that. This is Lamentations 4:21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and shalt make thyself naked. The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. It's a scripture that talks about how let me actually get it. Let me just get it real quick, and I'm gonna come right back. I believe it's Zephaniah. Seek ye the Lord, all ye. This is Zephaniah 2 and 3. Seek ye the Lord, all ye meek of the earth, which have brought his judgment. All right, so we have had to go through the destructions, and we have been put under curses from the Most High. Right, we've been put under curses from the Most High. Seek ye righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger. Right, so I wanted that to say that we've suffered those curses from the Most High. Right, so our iniquity is accomplished. Right, our punishment, I would say, is accomplished. Let's go back to Lamentations and read this, and I'm gonna end it. It says, the punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins. Right, so the judgment is coming to Edom. Right, like I said, no matter how you try to wash your hands of what you've done, we understand the blood that was shed cannot be cleansed but by the blood of him that sheddeth it. So you guys have to pay for the things you've done. You're not innocent. You further the affliction of Jake, and you guys have to pay. Right? Even you Edomites who claim that it wasn't you, as your forefathers. But the scriptures say that you guys have to pay for the sins of your forefathers. So with that, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahshai. Until next time, Lord willingly, Shalom.